Thank you, guys. We are in Tuscaloosa, Bryant-Denny Stadium. Over 100,000 on hand to watch Alabama in their home opener, coming off a win over West Virginia. As SEC Network football is presented by Allstate. Alabama at 1-0, taking on Florida Atlantic 0-1 after a loss to Nebraska. Dave Neal alongside my partner Andre Ware, the Heisman Trophy winner. Glad you could join us today. And Andre, certainly Alabama comes up with a big win last week, but the all talk this entire week has been about the quarterback situation. Where was Jake Coker? Why didn't he play? We assessed Blake Sims, how he performed. Where is Alabama in this quarterback situation right now?
You know, Blake Sims is going to start the game, and rightfully so. He played well last week and was solid. Completed 72% of his passes for 250 yards. The one blemish, the interception. But, you know, you look at it, I think until this game is in hand, Dave, we won't see Jacob Coker until that point, and it may be somewhere right around the start of the second half.
Well, Alabama will get the football first, and there is Big Jake waiting for his opportunity. Actually handed it off a couple of times to finish out the game against West Virginia. Back deep to return, an explosive return man, Christian Jones for the Crimson Tide. So Florida Atlantic will let Greg Joseph send it down to the Crimson Tide at the 1-yard line. Here is Jones to the 25, and that is where Alabama will have it. Now this Alabama offense put up pretty good numbers last week, over 500 yards of offense, a lot of weapons. For more on that, let's go down the sidelines, check in with Laura Rutledge.
Well, thanks, Dave. And whoever wins this quarterback job for Alabama will have a weapon, certainly, in Amari Cooper. And Saban said they've really been impressed with the strength and speed improvements Cooper has made this year. When he arrives to the very intense fourth-quarter workouts that this strength coach does, he arrives 2 hours early to get extra work in the weight room. They've also liked an improvement in his attitude. Dave, he has a much more positive approach to the game, and it certainly shows on the field.
Well, 12-catch outing to open up 2014. We'll end around to Mr. Cooper. He's got a lot of running room. Cooper to the 40. Stepped out of bounds. Let's see where they end up spotting it. Back in Alabama territory. Looks like they'll spot it at the 46, Andre.
Yeah, just line him up in the slot. You get good edge blocks, and then it's just turn on the athletic ability of Amari Cooper. Lane Kiffin, talking with him yesterday, says he equates it to a good shooter in a basketball game. You want to get him shots early so that he doesn't disappear. That's how they like to use Amari Cooper, get him involved in the football game early.
It's always funny how these receivers block a little bit better, do all the little things a little bit better when they touch the ball early. Here goes Yeldon, kicks it to the outside and tripped up. Gain of 6. Milstead, the safety, trips him up. There is Blake Sims. We want to talk about a guy who was scrutinized all week. This was the guy, and all he did was complete 72% of his passes.
And you see him now in that no huddle.
Quick throw to the wide side. Here's Chris Black. Makes a man miss. Black down at the 30. Milstead with another tackle.
And just want to get Blake Sims kind of in this game early. And the way to do that, some quick, easy passes. They started last week with that same play to Amari Cooper. This week it's Chris Black who's playing for DeAndre White.
And Alabama going into the no huddle, which works so well for him against West Virginia. Stays with it here on the opening drive. Cooper, he's to the 15 and tripped up down to the 11-yard line. That's another big gain. That one goes for 18. Reggie Brown on the tackle for FAU.
Just another quick hitch or quick bubble screen out to Amari Cooper. And well, when he gets the ball in space, there's not a more electric player. To me, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in all of college football.
Yeldon works the right side, looking for a seam. Stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard when it's all said and done.
You know, Dave, a lot of people think, well, Alabama's going no huddle. They're trying to change with the ways. Maybe. But when we talk to Lane Kiffin, it's because of communication problems. They want to just get to the line of scrimmage. He calls the formation, takes a look at the defense, and that allows Blake Sims to then call the play.
Quick throw to the far side. That'll go to Cooper.
And I say all that to say they struggle in just getting plays called in the huddle. And when it's just a formation where they can line up and bring in substitutions, because it's not really going fast. It's just that they can operate a little more consistently when they're at the line of scrimmage, and all he has to do is give the play from that point. The formation is already given by Lane Kiffin. Boy, a lot of room over here. Be aware for the corner route.
On third down, here's Sims. He'll try to run for it. Touchdown, Alabama from 7 yards out.
Why mess with it if it's not broken? Watch this right here. Look at that lane for Blake Sims to get through. And that's what he brings to this offense that Jacob Coker cannot bring. The ability when things break down on the offensive line to make plays with his legs.
Adam Griffith with the point after. It's up and good. Boy, that looked easy.
Perfect.
No huddle, little up-tempo pace. Alabama looked quite comfortable. I would say the communication issues not a problem on that drive. Well, Alabama didn't take long to put points on the board. About 2.5 minutes as they blew down the field in 7 plays, 74 yards. Blake Sims with that 7-yard touchdown run. And in case you missed it, video of the touchdown is now posted on the SportsCenter app, available on your mobile devices and tablets whenever you would like to see it.
Boy, Blake Sims, quiet that quarterback stuff. Boy, if he keeps putting drives like that together. 3 of 3, 40 yards, and then capped it off with a touchdown run.
Lucky Whitehead on the return for the Owls to the 21 and dropped there. Well, Amari Cooper got involved early, Andre.
Yeah, a little just a toss to Amari Cooper to get him touches early in the ball game. He nearly breaks one, and then a slant route. And watch him after the catch, Dave. 2 catches, 21 yards to start this ball game. Boy, is he a special player. I mentioned it earlier. I think he's the best that we watch on Saturdays at his position.
Preseason All-American coming off that 12-catch, 130-yard performance against the Mountaineers. So Greg Hankerson will get the start for Florida Atlantic. Jaquez Johnson, their starter, the junior out of Starkville, with a bum shoulder, will not go, apparently, at least early on. Quick slant on the far side. Catches made by William Dukes, gain of 8. But here is Hankerson, 6'1", 185, out of Lauderdale Lakes, Florida.
Yeah, 45% passer. You see the 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He has definitely got to get better at throwing the football if they're going to have a chance in today's ball game against Bama.
A true sophomore. Hankerson did play after Johnson got hurt at Nebraska. He'll go up top again. This pass is incomplete, and flags come in as Cyrus Jones in coverage on Jensen Stoshak. And the cornerback position was an issue.
Defense, number 5. Automatic first down.
Well, this is sort of like last week, and you see right here, Cyrus Jones, the corner, a little bit early in the contact. It's Justin Stoshak.
See down on the near side, 4 in the crimson jersey. That is Eddie Jackson, making his first start since he blew out his knee 5 months ago. Did not play last week.
This will sound cruel, but as a quarterback, that's right where I would go. I would, you know, you read all the injury reports. I'm going to test Eddie Jackson right away.
Inside handoff goes to Tony Moore, gain of a couple. Andre, let's take a look at our impact players, and one of those guys is certainly Eddie Jackson for Alabama as he gets a start.
You mentioned the ACL, talking to the coaching staff. He's back 100%. They have their signal caller back in the middle, and Trey Dupriest, and Lucky Whitehead is the explosive player who you want to see with the football in his hands, along with Alex DeLeon, their tight end. Want to get him some touches as well early in the ball game.
Henry Bussey, a true freshman out of Opelika, Florida, in the game. Loss of one, and Eddie Jackson comes up to make his first tackle of 2014.
Well, yeah, I think he passed the test with that lick. You know, right here, they get Henry Bussey in space and a running back matched against Eddie Jackson. And Bussey's not a big guy. Actually, Jackson weighs more of the two players at 188 to Bussey's 180. Boy, did he come up and deliver a blow in space.
Now it's 3rd down and 8. 4-man rush into Alabama territory at the 48, gain of 6. Lucky Whitehead comes back to make that reception. But now you're looking at 4th down and a couple.
Yeah, he's their playmaker, team's most dynamic offensive weapon, goes about 4.4 speed. Not a big guy at 5'10", 163 pounds, but certainly, you know, really good player once he gets the ball in space.
So there is Christian Jones standing at the 10-yard line. This kick almost goes straight up and down. It'll hit at the 25 and bounce backwards. A 22-yard punt. Alabama will have the football when we come back to Tuscaloosa.
Any quarterback that we have that can show that he can play winning football at that position, we're going to give an opportunity to him.
Blake Sims,
Jake Coker, Blake Sims.
Jacob Coker. This was the biggest question in all of college football.
Blake Sims is going to be the starting quarterback.
In the second quarter, Blake got a little bit rattled. I told Jake, I said, get loosened up. There's a quarterback competition. We'll probably try to play both quarterbacks. When I figure it out, I'm probably not going to tell you, so don't ask.
Well, it's still been the talk of the town.
Don't ask.
We asked, and we got pretty much the same answers everybody else got.
You said, I think Blake Sims is playing winning football. The one thing that you take from that piece is whoever can play winning football at that position. So far, there's no reason to make a change because Blake Sims is doing that.
Kenyon Drake, 17, checks in. They'll swing it out to him. They say he is an electrifying playmaker and almost took it to the house.
Let me tell you, there's a lot of talent on this Alabama football team. But to me, there's none more talented than Kenyon Drake. I love watching this guy play football, and you get it to him in space, and it is just electricity waiting to happen. Boy, that's a good ball. Well-thrown ball by Blake Sims as well. Out in front where Drake can catch it on the move and turn it up the field.
Only 3 rushes last week. Said they wanted to get him more involved this week. He'll come near side now. Here's Cooper, a little one-on-one. He will take it close to midfield. That'll be a shy of the first down by about 1.5 yards, maybe.
And there are a lot of Florida Atlantic defenders inside. And so you're seeing Lane Kiffin work the edges. You get one-on-one on the outside, or you can outflank the defense because there's 7, 8 defenders packing themselves in the box. No need to try to do it the difficult way. Go where they are not, and that's on the outsides, and that's what you're seeing Kiffin do on this drive as well as the first drive.
Now Derrick Henry in the backfield, the sophomore. But they will throw it to Cooper on the far side. Cooper gets a good block. There goes Amari Cooper. Touchdown, Alabama, 52 yards.
Well, what a block by Christian Jones on Reggie Brown. Watch it on the outside. 22 on number 6 right there. That allows Amari Cooper the space needed for the house call. Just unselfish football by Christian Jones.
Andre, unfortunately, that is Reggie Brown, who is still down at midfield after that block. He has taken over that corner spot from Dijon Smith, the senior who was hurt last week. One of the best corners in the country.
Yeah, they think Dijon Smith has a chance to play at the next level. Good size at 5'11", 190 pounds. A lot of NFL scouts are taking a look at him as he's a senior from Miami, Florida. But Reggie Brown is subbing in for him, and they are already, as you mentioned, with Smith out thin at that corner position.
Let's take one more look at this and see if Cooper does stay in bounds. That's what our officials are taking a closer look at as we speak.
I think there's no doubt that's a touchdown, and it's actually a legitimate block by Christian Jones out on the edge, working against Reggie Brown. Just a well drawn up play by Lane Kiffin, and a better run and catch by Amari Cooper. What a weapon.
The first drive went 74 yards. Guess how far that one went? 74 yards.
And it was a little bit faster than the first one.
Was. That one was 1 minute and 20 seconds.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Hubert Owens with the long jog back to the point after. You know, Cooper, a guy that was just injured at the beginning of the last season and just got off to a slow start, never really got in sync.
Yeah.
He was frustrated. The coaches were frustrated. A fresh start in 2014.
And that was a year after, in 2012, he led the team with 59 receptions, 1,000 yards. He can get it. Number 25 overall recruit by ESPNU coming out of high school.
Griffith with the point after, and we have ourselves a new score here on the capstone. Alabama's up 2 touchdowns. The machine is rolling.
SEC Network Football is presented by Allstate. Are you in good hands? And in part by Belk, the home of modern Southern style. Visit Belk.com today.
Alabama's locker room was a intense place before the game as they continue to dominate here 14-0 in quarter number 1. Now Arkansas State Tennessee can be seen on the network, on the SEC Network alternate channel. Be sure to check local listings or go to secnetwork.com/channel to find the channel number in your area. The game's also available on Watch ESPN. Busy day here on the network. A lot of football games, 12 total games, only one conference matchup, and that is Ole Miss taking on Vandy in Nashville.
Anxious to see if the Commodores, if the Doors can bounce back from last Thursday night.
Well, there wasn't a quarterback controversy heading into game 1 for Vanderbilt, but there certainly is one now heading into game 2. High kick will be fielded by Whitehead. He'll take a knee, and that'll come out of the end zone. But
I don't even
so
like the word controversy, especially when it applies to quarterbacks.
Well, there isn't one here. There's a discussion. Let's use that word. But Blake Sims so far has been
I tell you
solid.
what, he has been perfect in this football game, distributing the football there to Chris Black. He gets himself involved. Amari Cooper on a slant, and then he can do it with his legs as well, Dave, running in the first touchdown. Then he starts the second drive. Quick toss out to Amari Cooper, and he does the rest. That is going to look really nice on the stat sheet for Blake Sims.
That's about as perfect as you could get. 5 out of 5, 100 yards.
And a touchdown run. And a touchdown pass.
Hankerson. He'll scramble. He is out to the 33-yard line. Give him 8. Trade to Priest. First time we've called his name on the field here in 2014.
Well, it looked as though he wanted to go deep to Derek Morrissey, who pulled up his route, and then he had nowhere else to go with the football. But nice job with the legs of escaping outside.
Hankerson doesn't run as well as Johnson, but certainly has the ability to get outside the pocket.
Yeah, the difference between the two is Hankerson's he's a little bit smaller in stature, 6 foot, about 185 pounds. So he's not a guy that can take it between the tackles like Jaquez Johnson can. He's not afraid to mix it up. He's a bigger guy at 225 pounds and a more of a running back type when he pulls it down and can go between the tackles. Hankerson more of the edge type runner, so that changes the offensive scheme just a little bit for Florida Atlantic.
Inside handoff goes to Jay Ward, and he kicks it out to the 39-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4. You know, for Johnson, back to Jacquez Johnson, obviously he grew up in Starkville, Mississippi, went to Starkville High School. He's only an hour or change from his hometown. He went to East Mississippi Community College before FAU, but Alabama actually was recruiting him out of high school. And went to East Mississippi Community College and found a home last year as a Conference USA Newcomer of the Year. But with a bad shoulder, Johnson having to be spectator this afternoon.
That's for the edge.
Hankerson, nowhere to go. Pocket collapses. A loss of 7. Reggie Ragland will get credit for that sack. Let's join Peter Burns in our studio. Hey, Peter.
We got a ball game in Neyland. How about this? Freddie Knighton, the dual quarterback, dual threat, 6-0. They get on the board. They miss the extra point. They got a field goal back. Back to you, David.
Whoa. It's a little surprise.
Well, Butch Jones said before the game his team can't come out sleepwalking. Early kick against an opponent that certainly has a dangerous offensive attack. Something tells me they're awake now in Knoxville. Swing it to the outside. Jay Warren brought down by Cyrus Jones.
It looked like Jay Warren lost the football and recovered by Mickinson Marcel, the left guard. You want to get him the ball in space. Jay Warren's a good space player as well. And you just got to hold on to the football, fighting for some extra yardage, but you cannot afford to turn the football over against Alabama.
Jones will let this one hit and bounce out of bounds. That'll be spotted at the 22-yard line. Alabama has been rolling on offense. They'll have the football when we come back.
Here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama with a 14-0 lead over FAU. And Nick Saban talked about the value of having Lane Kiffin on the sideline. I'm really seeing that down here. As Lane Kiffin brings Blake Sims and the rest of the offense over to the bench on the sideline, he spells out whatever plays are going to happen in that next offensive drive. He makes sure that Blake Sims has everything in his head before they get into it. Obviously, it could change if the situation calls for it, but Blake Sims at least has an idea of what he's going into. And guys, I think the value of having Kiffin face-to-face with this new quarterback makes a difference.
Well, Sims will roll near side, Laura, and sling it out off the hands of Christian Jones. But talking to Lane Kiffin yesterday, I thought it was a great comment that he said, you know, as a coach, I didn't necessarily want to be down the sidelines. Coach Saban made me come down here, but after the game, I felt like a brilliant decision, and that's why he wins so many games.
Yeah, it's because he can go right to the quarterbacks. And when you have two guys that are really struggling with terminology and picking up the system, a little bit easier for them when you have the coordinator on the sideline rather than going through a third party.
You know, as a head coach, he was calling plays at USC and the year at Tennessee, but he doesn't really watch. You know, yesterday he said he watched what, 2-3 plays on Alabama's defense because he spent his whole time focused on the offense last week against West Virginia. As opposed to when he was a head coach, he said I have to pay attention to the whole game.
About 90% of what the defense was doing. Maybe turn his back to it every once in a while when he was trying to make some corrections offensively. But well, I think it's valuable when you go no huddle, especially trying to take the thought out of it for Blake Sims to be right down on the field.
Sims slings it over the middle. Amari Cooper with another catch. Boy, and I got to think, Andre, I got to think that's the kind of catch over the middle that gains a lot of respect from your teammates.
It's a brilliant look and a brilliant read by Sims. He's not there in the first window. The second one opens up, and that's when he decides to get the ball to Amari Cooper. Look at him. Watch the coverage with his eyes, zone coverage. The first window when you want to hit a slant right away. It wasn't there. He waits till the second window and then throws a dart. Well, that's fine quarterbacking right there.
Near side, here's Cooper again. He's getting a workout. Stutter step, spins. I think Amari might be feeling it a little bit today.
And I'm going to put him in some pretty good company. And I watch a guy every Sunday wear number 80 for the Houston Texans, and Andre Johnson. In terms of stopping and starting, in terms of just from the stopping position to getting going, I think Amari may be a more explosive player than Andre Johnson. Straight line speed, I think Andre has him there, but the body types are the same, and certainly after the catch, both are dynamic. And I think we'll watch that guy on the next level next year on Sundays.
Derrick Henry in at running back. He'll get the handoff. Henry met at the line, but moves the pile a couple of yards, picks up 4. SEC Network's full day of gridiron action continues at 4. Eastern Michigan takes on Florida, and Nichols against Arkansas. Finally at 7:30, Sam Houston State takes on LSU, and Lamar versus Texas A&M. Go to SECnetwork.com/channel to find the channel number in your area. Those games also available live on the Watch ESPN app.
I'm not ready to start anointing nicknames to guys after one game. Trill Hill, are you kidding me? Just keep playing. How about just being Kenny Hill for a while?
Here's Derrick Henry being Derrick Henry. He'll go inside that FAU 50, gain of 4 for Derrick.
Remember a few years ago, Kevin Sumlin wouldn't let Johnny Manziel talk to the media as a freshman? I think that should apply to all first-year quarterbacks for about half the season.
And Johnny was a redshirt.
Yeah, so he wasn't even a true freshman, but I'm just not into that nickname thing.
Maybe upon further review, maybe there was a reason he didn't talk to the media.
Think they knew something?
Yeah. Here's Sims.
Oh, what a move.
Look at Blake run. He'll have the first down inside the 40. A gain of 9. Raequan Williams pushes him out of bounds.
Well, he can certainly fix things when they aren't clean. And right there on the move, you see him. Nobody's open. Well, that's a nice first move. Oh, boy. That is sweet. 3 moves and then a first down by Blake Sims. Leave this guy alone. He's a starting quarterback at Alabama. Forget about it.
Come near side again. Pass is caught. There goes Kenyon Drake. That'll be another Alabama touchdown. 39 yards.
I'll tell you what, Blake is. He throws the perfect pass, and it results in a touchdown. And first thing he gets when he comes to the sideline is Coach Saban in his face along with Lane Kiffin, and he throws his hands up. I'm not sure what went on. I'm not sure if the formation was called wrong. I don't know, but something wasn't up to speed. I like the result, though.
Griffith with the point after. Yeah, I mean, another solid drive by Alabama, led by number 6 in the crimson jersey. This time Drake takes it to the end zone.
That's one of my favorites in all of college football right there, Kenyon Drake. And watch him here in space, as dangerous as they get. 6'1", 202. And if he learns to pick up blitzes in terms of pass protection, boy, he is going to be something else. That's just the final piece to making his game complete, because we know what he can do with a football in his hands. Well, you score on a touchdown catch like that, you trot right back out on the field, Dave, to go cover some kicks.
Well, that drive was the longest of the day so far. 78 yards. Went 8 plays. Sims 8 of 9, 155, a couple of touchdowns. So Griffith will kick it off again. Line drive kick. Fielded by Lucky Whitehead at the goal line. Lucky out to the 25-yard line. Well, there is 14. Got his helmet strapped on.
Yeah, I got to believe he's going, because the entire time that Alabama's had the football, that helmet's been sitting somewhere, and he's kind of going to the group, the huddle, before they take the field with his helmet off. You get that look right there, chin straps buttoned. He's getting ready to go. Next series.
I think a lot of the people that are inside Bryant-Denny Stadium, part of the reason they are here is to watch him play the game. Didn't get to see a lot last week with 2 snaps late in the game against West Virginia. So here's FAU. Hankerson will throw. Pass caught on the near sideline and then dropped. Alabama has it at the 43-yard line.
Oh, boy. And I don't know if Hankerson could have thrown a better pass. Little fade stop behind the receiver. And take a look. It's thrown on time behind the corner. He can't make a play, and Eddie Jackson just sticks his hand in there and strips it right out. Nice catch. Secured, and then the ball comes right out. I mean, he looks like he hadn't missed a beat. That's a guy coming back from an ACL. You see the knee brace there, but boy, that's some good football.
Reggie Ragland falls on top of it, and taking a closer look just to see if he did have possession.
I think so.
So here is Jake Coker. At 6'5", 230 pounds, has a short field to work with and a 21-point lead. Hand off to Derrick Henry. Coker last year at Florida State threw 36 passes, completed half of them for 250 yards.
Andre Kirk, the leader on the defense with that last stop.
Henry stays in the game. He'll get the handoff down to the 37-yard line. Bonda with the stop there.
Dangerous game you play with quarterbacks when you move them in and out of the lineup. I would never question a thing that Coach Saban does, because he's won a lot of football games, but you're going to compete for a championship. At some point, it's one or the other. It allows you to do it against competition like Florida Atlantic or maybe a Southern Miss next week. There's a reason that Jacob Coker didn't play last week against West Virginia.
Couple of tight ends, 3rd and short. They'll hand it off to Yeldon. They'll have the first down.
Some you can coach, but you certainly don't want to take the confidence away from Blake Sims.
Well, in our meetings yesterday, I got the feeling that he doesn't want to play musical chairs. He knows it's not good for anybody. Clock hits 0, and that'll do it for the first 15 minutes. I would say a dominating performance by Alabama. Blake Sims goes 8 out of 9 for 155 yards and 2 touchdowns. Amari Cooper has nearly 100 yards receiving and a touchdown. It is 21-0 Alabama.
I love the way you walk.
Well, Jake Coker at Florida State wearing the garnet and gold of the Seminoles. Didn't get a lot of work because it won Jameis Winston, but some action from a year ago down in Doak Campbell Stadium where he completed 18 of 36 passes for the Seminoles. Came here, showed up during the spring game, didn't participate, obviously, still had to finish school at Florida State, but came into the building. I happened to be here that Saturday, and it was like a rock star. Everybody just kind of anointed him as the starter, but Blake Sims says, whoa.
Everybody loves the backup quarterback.
Here's a little bootleg coming near side. Coker nowhere to go, and he'll be hit at the 22-yard line. He'll pick up 5 yards. Freedom Whitfield brings him down.
It's kind of like clamoring for the unknown. You know, everything's unknown is always better. I mean, you got a pretty good starter in there at Blake Sims, and let's just see if Jacob Coker can get him in and out of the huddle and go through his progressions, and then see if he can play football.
Here goes Drake. He's down to the 10-yard line. That'll be a first down for Alabama.
We talked about just how dangerous Kenyon Drake is with the ball in his hands. And I think Kiffin's certainly going to make it an easy transition for Jacob Coker in this offense. We kind of muddle huddling right around the line of scrimmage where you got to get the play, you know the formation, and now everybody disperses and the play's called. Both quarterbacks have struggled with play calling in and out of getting the offense in and out of the huddle.
First down just outside the 10. They'll go out to Cooper. Has one-on-one. Nice play on the edge. That came from Raekwon Williams.
See, there's a difference right there. When we watched Blake Sims spin that ball out wide, it's get it and bam, it's in Cooper's hands and before the defensive back can react. Coker, it took a little bit longer. He's got to mold it to get it out there, and that allows the defensive back to come up and make a stop.
Two tight ends in the game for Alabama. They work the left side. Vogler and Howard. Two receivers near side. And they will come that way. Here's Cooper again trying to get a block. Cooper keeps his feet churning. That was Chris Black out there trying to lead the way for Cooper. Gain of 6.
Pretty good edge blocks by Black, and talked about Christian Jones as well. But here, that's an easier way to do it when you're under center. And Lane Kiffin recognized it from the previous play. The previous play was a gun snap, and then you're going to Cooper left. Harder to catch and mold it and get it out to your left side or from the gun than it is when you get it from under center and you're going to run the same play. You're molding it as you're taking it from the center. A little bit faster delivery by Coker.
Cooper, by the way, up over 100 yards receiving this afternoon. 3 tight ends on 3rd down. Cooper turns. Didn't turn quickly enough. Incomplete.
When you see just how packed Florida Atlantic is in the box. Look at all the bodies in there. Look at all those bodies. And now it's just telling you, hey, throw the football. Looked as though Cooper was on top of the defensive back. So there as a quarterback, Dave, I'm going to go ahead and lead him into the corner. When the defensive back is on top, that's when I'm going to throw the back shoulder throw. So a little miscommunication by a guy that hadn't played a whole bunch in Coker.
Adam Griffith with a 22-yard attempt. He was solid in the opener, 4 out of 4. And converts this one as well. So Alabama's lead is pushed out to 24 now. Back to Tuscaloosa after this. Now, Alabama picks up a field goal from 22 yards out to stretch the lead to 24-0. Jake Coker's first series ended on an incomplete pass in the end zone. Short field for the Crimson Tide. Their first 3 drives went 74, 74, and 78 yards.
Well, we talked to Charlie Partridge, the head coach at Florida Atlantic. He kept talking about we need to fix ourselves. We need to play better ourselves. Forget about what Alabama does. We need to fix some individual or some team things. I think they're still maybe working in that direction. Guess who?
Well, Kenyon Drake can not only carry the football with explosive passion, he can also play special teams just as well.
Let's go back and take a look at that last pass by Jacob Coker intended for Amari Cooper. You're just going to get a fade route out here. And if the defensive back, if you get on top, now freeze it. You throw over the top into the corner of the end zone here. If the defensive back is on top, then that's when you throw the ball the way Coker throws it. You can see clearly Cooper's above the defensive back. It should have been a fade into the corner of the end zone. He's got to stop, come back to where the defensive back is. If it's reversed, that's the throw to make.
It almost looked like Cooper was anticipating that little fade to the pylon in the back of the end zone. Here goes Martese Jackson, the senior out of Asheville, North Carolina. He'll pick up 5. Clock goes under 12 minutes here in the second quarter. Hankerson will hand it off to Jackson, trying to get the corner, won't do it. Well, tune in Sunday as the SEC Network brings you a rewind of a classic SEC game. Georgia and South Carolina from 2002. David Pollock and Georgia's defense rise to the occasion to help the Bulldogs win their SEC opener against the Gamecocks. SEC Rewind, Georgia, South Carolina from 2002, Sunday at 10 o'clock, right here on the SEC Network. Also available on the Watch ESPN app. FAU 0 for 2 on third downs. You can make it 0 for 3 as Lucky Whitehead just ran right into a crimson wall of defenders. He will lose a yard. Ashawn Robinson at 320 pounds making that play.
Ashawn, a big 320-pound nose tackle. Some pretty good movement. Of Fort Worth, Texas. Arlington Heights, excellent high school program that he's from.
Only missed some time in camp. Coach is telling us he's still trying to work his way back into game shape. But the freshman All-American with a nice play on that last handoff. Fourth down. Here comes FAU to punt it away, and very returnable opportunity now for Alabama.
Oh, good punt.
Tight spiral. Christian Jones fields it. Flag comes down. Christian reverses field. And he will be dropped at the 27-yard line. A lot of running for just a couple of yards for Christian. But Alabama will have the football. We'll wait for this flag. Boy, Christian Jones, explosive return man. Had a couple of punt returns for touchdowns last year.
Return, illegal block of the back on the receiving team. Number 80, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
It's almost like that's going to happen when you have a guy like Christian Jones with such change of direction. Alabama with this one well in hand here early in the first half, up 24-0.
All right, the Volunteers, they're starting to pull away. How about this? Jalen Hurd, the sensational freshman. A read option there, makes the corner. Puts the Vols up 10-6. How about this guy right here, Marquez North? Unbelievable. Justin Worley, 17-6. Von Pearson, guys, helped off the field. We'll keep you updated. Back to you guys in Tuscaloosa.
Well, I expect a big year for Marquez North, receiver from Tennessee. Good size at 6'4". Explosive player.
Coker, second series. Looking to show off that big arm. Tight spiral down the middle, underthrown. Well, Lane Kiffin certainly having some discussions with Jake between series. Let's go down to Lower for more on that story.
Well, yeah, Dave, Kiffin got in Coker's face and said, you have to get the formation out faster. He said, you know, I'm looking for what you're doing in the huddle, and I need to see that. He also said, whatever you do, don't kick a field goal on this next drive. It's embarrassing. Also, guys, Blake Sims giving Coker some props, telling him to calm down and saying, hey, man, you got this.
Well, Coker out of the eye. We'll hand it off to Yeldon. TJ out over the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go back and take a look at that first down pass from Coker intended for Amari Cooper. Let's watch Cooper, the outside move, freeze it. Right now, the ball should be gone. It should be in the air in this area or maybe led up the field from Coker. He is still looking at it, and then that allows the defensive backs to make up ground and make a play on the football. Just a little bit of rust, Dave, from not having done it in game-type situations.
Gain of 8 for Yeldon. You know, one of the things that Lane Kiffin spoke to us about was the first 3 weeks of camp is that Jake Coker was ahead of Blake, was going to be their #1 guy. Their last scrimmage inside Bryant-Denny Stadium, things went south in a hurry, and he never was able to keep his confidence at the level that you need to be, and because of that, Sims began to creep up the ladder a little bit.
I'll explain after this play.
Coker to throw.
Nice.
Pass caught by Ardarius Stewart. The redshirt freshman will pick up 15.
Sometimes guys look good in 7-on-7. They look good in 1-on-1s because he's a passer. He's got a big arm, and you know he can show that off and display it. But when guys are around your knees, you're having to throw over bodies, make throwing lanes by adjusting your arm angles. Sometimes you're not as accurate as when you don't have those guys in your face. So when it's live and it's real and you're not even being tackled in that setting, it's a little difficult when you haven't played football in a while.
Coker throws it into the ground behind the fullback Jalston Fowler.
As well, Blake Sims has been in this program a long time. 5th year in it, senior quarterback. He's got a lot of friends. And you don't believe this. And I told you this in a meeting last night. Guys will play hard for one quarterback over the other. And it's just a team thing. It's just one of those things that happen in the locker room. A lot of fans are saying he is crazy. But guys that have played football, if you've been in locker rooms, you know that to be the truth. Guy comes in 2 weeks. That guy's been here 5 years.
Coker going up top, down the middle. Has Stewart, overthrows him.
And Amari Cooper wide open, missed a read. You're throwing in double coverage and you got 9 wide open. I mean, he is wide open, and you could see the body language of Amari Cooper. Watch him cross from right to left. Right about now, freeze it. Right here, wide open. Give it to him. You got 2 men back here covering the deep throw. You got Cooper wide open.
Alabama 3 out of 4 on 3rd downs today. Looking at a 3rd down and 10. Some pressure comes. They try to set up the screen. Oh, great play call. 1st down for Yeldon, and takes it to the 35-yard line.
Well timed by Jacob Coker. Waited until the last possible second to draw the defenders into his face. And then nice touch. Watch this right there, and then touch it. Just touch it to Yeldon and then allow him to make a play after the catch. That is how it's drawn up. Coach Kiffin didn't want to see a field goal. Well, pick up a 1st down and you can continue this drive. That was great information by Laura. Kind of sneaking in there, hearing stuff in the huddle.
Well, red zone was an issue they really wanted to focus on the offseason as well. They finished 10th in the league in red zone scoring percentage. Had a touchdown 64% of the time. Right in the middle of the pack in the SEC as FAU takes a timeout. And we will take it with them. There's 7:51 to go in the 2nd quarter, and Alabama driving again. There's always some good food, whether it's barbecue, burgers, what have you. The SEC Network crew found Rammer Jammer right outside the stadium. The legendary eating spot. There are so many legendary eating spots around this league.
Oh, my goodness, some good ones.
Let's take a look at this Alabama Crimson Tide schedule. These are just the conference games, and it gets underway on September 20th here against Florida.
Yeah, and I think it's important to get Jacob Coker, he's going to ultimately be the quarterback, to get some timings, get some reps against, Florida Atlantic and Southern Miss next week, because you get into that schedule, there's a lot of faster players. Things are going to happen a lot faster for him than it is today.
Little shoulder fake from Coker. Has all day to throw. Going to Cooper near side. Would have been a heck of a catch by Amari. Trayvon LeBlanc on the coverage for the Owls.
1st-year starter at corner. Excellent special teams player a year ago, Trayvon LeBlanc, but in good position. But he was, the athletic ability of Cooper still almost allowed him to make a play where LeBlanc was in great position. Right there, great position. And you see there just the leaping ability of Cooper almost allows him to come down with that one.
On this drive, Coker 2 out of 6. Overall, 4 out of 9. Coming near side. Air mails it. Right over the head of Cam Sims.
Some guys, Dave,
6'4".
Some guys, Dave, can look all world in practice when you know you're not going to get hit. When it's it's game time and you're 90, 95, 100,000 full, it's a little bit different when the lights come on and they just can't take it from the practice field to the game.
10th play of this drive coming up. Alabama 4 out of 5 on third downs. Looking at a 3rd down and 10. They set up the screen on their last 3rd down and 10 and picked up 16.
Get some zone here.
Over the middle. Pass is caught by Chris Black, and that is good enough for the 1st down at the 20. Good strike from Coker.
Yeah, good anticipation in terms of waiting for Chris Black. You're going to see him right here, right as he hits the top. Little step into the throw. That's well done. Over the head of the linebacker, Andre Kirk, and in front of Damian Parms, the safety. That's nice. Nice clean pocket by the offensive line as well, allowing Coker to work.
Drake, 17 in crimson, checks in as the single setback. Coker. He'll run with it to the 10. He's down to the 5. The big fella driving down to the 2-yard line. Using that 230 pounds. Picks up 16.
Oh, he's a good-looking athlete, 6'5", 230 pounds. And, you know, he's been out of it for a while. You want a little contact. Wouldn't recommend this a lot, but no one open. Just tuck it away. You've got guys in man coverage, trailing receivers. That's a nice job, putting your head in there, trying to get to the end zone. Good drive here. You know, he's missed some receivers. Still being able to convert on 3rd down is big.
The jumbo package with 3 tight ends in the game, including the fullback Fowler out of the eye. They'll play fake it. Looking for Fowler. Touchdown. Did he hold on? Yes, he did.
Ooh, close. And Fowler is a do-it-all player. Talking to Lane Kiffin, and I'm in full agreement. He will play on Sundays a long time because he can do everything. Fullback, H-back. He can play on the line as a tight end, and then here, the hands. Good special teams player as well. But he will play a long, long time. 6'1", 248, and can move. That's a heck of a catch, and then gets a foot down.
So the point after is up and good, and Alabama has now stretched their lead out to 31-0. That drive was 17 plays. Excuse me, 13 plays, 12 plays. There we go. I can't read my own writing sometimes. 12 plays, 87 yards, just under 4 minutes. And, you know, certainly there was a lot of talk about this Alabama team, Andre, after West Virginia. I mean, West Virginia is no slouch. There's a team that's a pretty good football team. They played well, wasn't perfect, wasn't flawless, but so many people being critical of this Alabama team. I think that the guys on the team, as much as they try to put that out of their mind, they hear that too. And they came out ready to go today for this early kick.
Yeah, they did. And West Virginia is a good football team. I expect them to have a good year. It's a fast football team that gave this Alabama defense some problems early on in that ballgame. I think that's why they stuck with Blake Sims. There was a little bit more security there in that one. They were in a tight ball game that first half. Then when you jump out to 21-0 lead, okay, now you can sail a little bit. You know you have the athletes to do it, and that's why Jacob Coker came in when he did.
All right, there's a reason you won a Heisman Trophy. You know how to play the game at the quarterback position at the highest level. Break down what we've seen so far between Sims and Coker.
Well, Sims, it seems like the ball, he seems to have made, you're looking for leaps from both guys, and Sims seems a little more comfortable at this point. Coker, it's going to take a little while because of the rust of having not played and sitting for a while and not being able to come in early and absorb the playbook.
Here goes Lucky Whitehead. He's out to the 20-yard line.
You know me, Dave, I'm hard on all quarterbacks, but Jacob Coker, he did some good things, especially converting on 3rd downs. Here's a pass over the middle where they needed to continue to move the play. Screen pass, drawing defenders, showing some touch, dropping it off to T.J. Yeldon, and then made a play with his legs to move the chains as well. And then here, nice pass to Justin Fowler to really cap a 12-play drive. Look at the comparison now, 50% for Jacob Coker, 56 yards, of course a touchdown, and then Blake Sims responsible for 3 touchdowns, 2 throwing and 1 running.
And throw. Whitehead is hit. Eddie Jackson, first one there for Alabama. No gain on the play. So far, Eddie Jackson looks like a guy that
he's back.
Yeah, that is ready to play, and they need him at Alabama, especially after the way that went in the secondary against West Virginia last weekend.
I'll tell you what, does he come up and run support? I'd like to see him wrap up a little bit more. He's coming in throwing shoulders. He did that earlier in the game in a nice open field tackle, but you want to see guys wrap up when you're in space like that to at least hold on for help.
Well, he finished the year. One of the bright spots in that bowl game against Oklahoma was Eddie. He had 10 tackles, 9 solo.
If they can get Hankerson some time, maybe a double move on the outside here. Play clock.
False start. Offense, number 53. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Yeah, I think big Reggie Bain could feel that clock running down, the left tackle. True freshman. He did a pretty good job last week against Nebraska. 53. Jacoby Smith, who's splitting time with at right guard today.
So second down and 15. First penalty of the game for FAU. Hankerson. It's Whitehead. Stays on his feet.
Nice
Lucky
run.
Whitehead out to the 32-yard line. That'll be a first down. Best play offensively for the Owls this afternoon.
Yeah, Brian Wright, their offensive coordinator, can sense the aggression. You got second and long. You know that you're going to get some guys aggressively pursuing up the field to try to get to Hankerson. Well, that's a perfect play call. Little slot screen.
Hankerson going up top. Looking for Moise. Incomplete. Well, Monday at 7 o'clock on the SEC Network, join host Dari Noka and network analysts discussing all the SEC news of the day on SEC Now. It's presented by Regions Bank. You can also catch Dari and company on the Watch ESPN app. That's Monday, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. So now you're second down and 10 again. Hankerson checking to the sidelines. First-year coach Charlie Patridge, first-year head coach, was at Arkansas last year as an assistant with the Razorbacks. That handoff goes to Jay Warren. Ashawn Robinson will get credit for the tackle. There is Charlie Patridge, and he kept Brian Wright on board. Brian Wright was the offensive coordinator, as Andre just mentioned, but also Brian Wright was the interim head coach before they hired Charlie Patridge when Carl Pelini was let go midway through the season. And the Owls still found a way to win their last 4 games despite all that turmoil and go 6-6 on the year.
Did a heck of a job down the stretch, Brian Wright, of holding things together and then going on a winning streak to get them into a bowl game.
0 for 3 on third downs. And a flag comes in. Cyrus Jones in the coverage of Jensen Stoshak. I think it's the second time those two have tangled up today.
Yeah, he felt pressure from Jonathan Allen the end. 2012 Georgia Player of the Year, Gatorade Player of the Year in Virginia.
Holding. Defense, number 5. On an eligible receiver doing the legal flow of pass play. Automatic first down.
And just watch the pressure by Allen right here as he gets through and really couldn't follow through, but well, I don't know. That is close.
Well, Nick Saban was giving anybody that would listen in a striped shirt an earful on that call. He's still talking.
Stoshak couldn't turn around, and it looked as though at least made it look as though he was being held by Jones.
So first down and 10 from the 42-yard line.
And you got an uncovered slide in De Leon right there in the top.
They will get it to
Nice.
Lucky Whitehead and get close to the first down.
Boy, they do just the opposite. De Leon is out there and he's uncovered, but instead of throwing him the football, they decide to use him as a blocker. Watch 84 right here. He was uncovered, goes out there, and then you get Lucky Whitehead in space. He'll give you a chance, even against a fast Alabama defense. I think he's starting to show some of his playmaking ability.
Clock moves at 3:20. And that first half completely dominated by Alabama, 31-0. And off to the right side, Jay Warren will fall inside the 45 down to the 43-yard line. Dylan Lee will get credit for that tackle, a gain of 5.
Yeah, Jay Warren had a decent ball game last week. 14 carries, 77 yards, averaged 5.5 yards a carry. Broke off a long run of 14 against Nebraska, so he is not afraid of these big-time programs. Nebraska, Alabama. I had to ask Coach Partridge, who made that schedule? Did you know that when you were hired, you could face Nebraska and Alabama in consecutive weeks? It's amazing.
$1 million per game for the Owls. Handoff goes to Warren again, left side. Go get a 3.5, maybe 4 yards.
So you're saying money talks?
It does. It certainly. I know what talks in my household. I don't know about yours.
Money talks in all arenas, big boy. No doubt about it. That's a pretty good drive here by Florida Atlantic. Best drive of the game so far.
On 3rd and short, handoff goes to Warren. He'll have enough for the first down, and the drive stays alive for FAU. FAU had 9 3-and-outs against Nebraska last week.
Well, this is important for a couple of reasons. One, the confidence of this offense, and 2, to let Alabama's offense cool down a little bit.
After the first 3rd down conversion of the afternoon, the Owls will run it again on 1st down.
Well, this is where you see the substitutions coming in. That's where I would quick snap. I wouldn't allow guys that are rested to come in and set up and get themselves ready to play. I'd get a play called, and if I see those substitutions coming, I'm going to just snap the football. Catch about 20 of them on the field.
Hankerson throws, knocked up in the air. It'll fall incomplete. Clock will stop with 1:14 to go before halftime. William Dukes, the intended receiver.
And that play for us was thunder or lightning. At any second, you saw a substitution and you were a no-huddle offense. It's thunder, and that was going to the outside guys. Lightning was to the slots where I'm going to ID one of you, and I'm going to just give you the ball. And the whole deal was designed to catch defenses in a substitution pattern where you're not allowed to set up, and that's a free 5 yards.
3rd down and 6. Probably 2 plays here to get the first down for FAU, and there will be a delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense, number 6, 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That makes it tough to convert. Now you go from 3rd and 6, where it's extremely manageable, to 3rd and 11, where it's advantage Crimson Tide. As Kirby Smart can do anything he wants in this situation defensively. He can bring pressure. He can sit at the marker and tackle the football in front of it. And as crazy as it sounds, it's almost, if you get close enough, if you're Florida Atlantic, and you get to about 4th and 2, you may be entertaining the thought of going for it to keep a drive going.
So 3rd down and a dozen, and whistles will stop this play. Timeout taken by FAU. This has not been a good sequence for the Owls.
Florida Atlantic.
And I think
second time out of the half.
Coach Partridge may be thinking that very thing. Look, let's get a play call to get it to 4th and short so that we go for it here.
We'll find out what the Owls are thinking when we come back. Guys, we will see you in just a few moments. 1:14 on the clock here before we hit halftime. So a 3rd down and 12 coming up for the Owls. Had a delay a game and then had to use a timeout. Pressure comes on Hankerson. He will be dropped back at the 45-yard line. That'll be a 15-yard loss. Ryan Anderson led the way, the sophomore out of Daphne, with the sack for Alabama.
What's the #1 rule in the 2-minute drill?
Never take a sack.
Can't take a sack. You got to get rid of that football, and at least you give yourself 3rd and 12 instead of, or excuse me, 4th and 12 instead of 4th and forever, where you definitely have to punt the football back to Alabama.
Well, another timeout on the field. We'll step aside. Nick Saban and company taking a timeout, leading 31-0. He and Lane Kiffin having a discussion during that timeout about how they want to handle this next offensive possession.
Yeah, and Hussein basically had 2 timeouts to try to maybe go down and get a score here with 1:05 left in the first half.
Wobbly kick. Jones has time to make a catch on it, and he'll be dropped back at the 22-yard line. A 37-yard punt. But this is the scene during the timeout between Lane Kiffin and Nick Saban, discussing how they want to handle this next possession.
Two bright minds there.
You know, for everything everybody has said about Lane Kiffin, whether he was at Tennessee or with Oakland or at USC, the one thing that everybody has agreed upon is he is an excellent offensive mind and an excellent play caller.
No doubt about it. And I think that may be definitely his strong suit.
Here's Cooper on the wide side. He'll run out of bounds right around the 31-yard line.
Nice job of throwing it out. It just appears when things are clean. Look at the protection here. When things are clean for Coker, he can step into a throw. It's when the pressure's there that the rust will show up.
Cooper 9 catches today. Boy, I think he's gotten off to a great start. 12 catches yesterday. Or excuse me, last week. Seemed like yesterday. The week went by so quickly. Alabama will probably just try to get this one to the locker room after a 2-yard pickup. Actually, they will take a timeout. They will take a timeout with 38 seconds. So I guess they won't try to get this to the locker room.
No, they basically try to give just a quick run underneath to Yeldon to see if they could pop something. Maybe catch Florida Atlantic thinking pass and in a pass rush mode, and then pop Yeldon through for a big play. But that's why they took the timeout. This is an opportunity to really get Coker some work in terms of trying to score before the half in the 2-minute offense. They started this thing throwing, so there's no way where they're just going to go right in. This is an opportunity to get more work for a guy that hadn't been on the field in a while.
Looks like Coach Kiffin down there drawing up one of those plays in your backyard. You go this way, you go that way, and we're going to throw it up top.
There's a method to the madness, I promise you. But he is an outstanding coordinator. He hadn't had quite the success you would have as a head coach, but boy, when he's in just that role, he does some good things.
Great to spend some time with him yesterday and break down this Alabama offense. Down the far side, looking for Cooper, makes the catch, bobbles it, and will they say reception or incomplete? Our officials will talk about it and say reception at the 23.
Boy, that's just great coverage. Throw wasn't ideal, but Cooper just made a heck of a catch on Williams to that side. Inexperienced, didn't turn around, and they may take a look at this because I didn't think it was a catch when it was in real time.
Florida Atlantic, still third and final timeout of the half.
And this
30-second timeout.
I don't know that he ever really had possession of the football. Williams is there, doesn't turn around, but he feels it, then he identifies the ball. It's not secured yet, but from that angle, I don't know if there's enough video evidence to overturn it. It just doesn't seem like he ever really secured the football. It's a heck of an effort. Going up, ball still bobbling around. He still hadn't secured it. And then it comes out. Thursday Williams knocks it out. I have yet to see right there. You get blinded whether it's put away or not, and it's.
You know, it's one of those things, Andre, where I think if you're in the replay booth, you can't say, I think.
No, that's correct.
Right. I mean, you have to be definitive.
And there's a blind spot in there that you don't see it, and you just can't overturn it based on what you think.
So the officials weren't buzzed, so the guys in the replay booth had a good enough look at it, and we'll play on. 43-yard pickup sets up Alabama at the 23. Coker. Christian Jones, he has the first down. That'll stop the clock for a moment. A gain of 11.
Essentially with no pass rush. It's just 7-on-7 for Coker. And done a nice job of identifying zone coverage, finding an open receiver.
Coker goes to the far side, incomplete. That'll stop the clock. Alabama has put up 416 yards of offense here in the first half. 275 through the air, 141 on the ground. They have held FAU to 76 yards.
They put up a bundle last week, 538 total in last week's ball game against West Virginia. They're very balanced in doing so. 288 on the ground, 250 passing.
.15 seconds on the clock.
Right in the middle of the field's the weak spot.
Four-man rush. Alabama picks it up, and Coker will try to run for it. Jake knocked out of bounds with 7 seconds on the clock. Damian Parms, the strong safety, runs him out of bounds.
You see right in the middle, they cover up O.J. Howard and then really nowhere to go. He stayed left a little bit long with a read, and then it forces him to pull it down. And you just can't continue to take shots like that. Parms with a big tackle on Coker.
So play clock at 10. Game clock at 7 seconds, and Jake Coker will go under center on third down and a couple. Coker, nowhere to go. Stutter steps. He'll be dropped, and that'll end the first half. And Nick Saban takes off his headset and throws it down in disgust.
Well, it's because Coker is going right to him. He has got to make a better decision. You've got to know the time on the clock, that you can't spend it running around. At least come out of this thing with a field goal. And that's exactly what Coach Saban's telling him right now.
Well, you look at this Alabama offense, and the story was Amari Cooper, 10 catches, 156 yards. Blake Sims with a great start to this game, 8 of 9, 155 yards, 2 touchdowns. And for Coker, 9 of 16, 120 yards, and a touchdown as well. And let's go down and check in with Laura.
Coach, what did you tell Jake Coker just then?
Well, you know, we had a situation, we had 7 seconds. I think this is just kind of experience. Anything but a sack, we're going to be able to kick a field goal. We have a timeout. All right, so plays either there, you throw the ball, or you throw it away, and then we go kick a field goal. So it's just a learning experience.
Will we see Blake Sims in the second half?
Yeah, we'll come out in the second half and probably start like we started the game, and then probably try to play as many players as we can.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Good information from the coach, breaking it down for us. Alabama looked pretty good, maybe other than that last play or two. They lead it 31-0 at halftime. Time for us to send it to the studios. Our SEC halftime report. Here's Peter Burns. Peter, all yours. You are watching SEC Network Football, presented by Allstate, as we continue on from Bryant-Denny Stadium on a hot, muggy afternoon here on the Capstone. 31-0. Alabama scored on every possession except the very last one when they were stopped just shy of the goal line when the clock ran out on them. But certainly a first half where Alabama did what they wanted to do, I think, offensively and defensively, and they got to see a little bit of Jake Coker in real game action.
Yeah, they wanted to see both quarterbacks, and it's a competition that's going to continue on until one guy makes the leap head and heels above the other. But I thought both guys played very, very well in the first half. Blake Sims got it started in a quick little hitch screen out wide to Chris Black, and then when nothing was there, he showed you the ability to make plays with his legs. His first touchdown run. Then as well, shoot it out to Amari Cooper. Nice block by Christian Jones, and that frees him up to take it to the house. Blake Sims was sharp in his action in the first half. Then Jacob Coker came in. Zone defense, showed the ability to read, get the ball out on time, showed you touch on a blitz, touch to TJ Yeldon. Then he showed you some wheels as well, and the willingness to stick his nose in there and get it dirty. And then as well, a nice touchdown pass to Justin Fowler with touch. Here's the stats. First half stats. I thought Jacob Coker came back at one point. He was under 50%. Came back 9 of 16, 120 yards and a touchdown. But Blake Sims was sharp. Yeah. And the only incompletion in that was a drop by Christian Jones on a corner route.
Certainly a more fluid offense with Blake running the show, and Coach Saban telling Laura Rutledge right before halftime that we would see Blake and that starting unit back on the field to open up the second half. So his day is not done. Although you never know. You never know.
I think we're going to see Blake to start the second half.
Lucky Whitehead back to return the kick of the second half. Griffith to put his foot into it. And this will be taken at the goal line. Whitehead, or excuse me, Martese Jackson on the return. Gain of 20 on that return, and here comes the FAU offense that ran 24 plays, only mustered 76 yards. Jay Warren had 19 yards on the ground. That was the highlight there, and passing the football certainly wasn't something that Alabama was allowing the Owls to do. Ankerson was 8 out of 10, 58 yards, but was sacked a couple of times.
Yeah, I think what he's got to do is find a way, and then maybe Brian Wright formationally, to get playmakers in situations where they can get the football. Lucky Whitehead, Alex DeLeon, the tight end who they wanted to get the football to. Two of our impact players, they need to figure out a way to get them the ball in space and get out of this big crowded area.
Here comes Whitehead on the speed sweep, 4 yards on that carry, and Nick Perry comes up, the free safety, to make the play. Now Alabama going without Jarek Williams, foot injury, and he will be out probably around a month. So Nick Perry, Geno Smith, Landon Collins, and Jabril Washington, another guy coaches said would get back and get some work today. Those guys are going to have to man the back end.
Yeah, Perry's played a lot of football at Alabama.
Perry and Collins, your safeties now. That corner, it's Cyrus Jones and Eddie Jackson, who comes in to help out on that tackle. Nothing doing. Jonathan Allen led the charge. That'll be a loss of 3. The sophomore from Leesburg, Virginia.
I mentioned it earlier, 2012 Gatorade Player of the Year in Virginia. And this plays with a motor, according to Kirby Smart, the defensive coordinator, and can really get after the quarterback. But they come with a corner blitz as well, and Eddie Jackson, you see him there helping out Jonathan Allen. They had that thing just read perfectly.
Third down and 9. Little inside handoff. A helmet comes flying out of the pile. Gain of 3, and that'll be a 4th down coming up.
Brandon Lyons at center. Yeah, loses his helmet, so he's got to go off anyway. Florida Atlantic finding themselves in a punting situation again.
Dalton Schomp punted 9 times last week against Nebraska for a 47-yard average, had a long of 66. He has punted 3 times. This will be number 4 today. High kick. Returnable for Christian Jones. Breaks a tackle. Boy, if he'd gotten 1 block on the outside, he might have had a chance to sweep down that far sideline. 43-yard punt, no return. Alabama has it, 31-0 here in the 3rd quarter. Let's take a look at Playing with Style, brought to you by Belk, and certainly Amari Cooper has shown some flashes of some brilliant style today.
Yeah, line him up in the slot, going left to right, then line him up out far right, then out far left, then back far right. This is the one that he's going to take to the house, back to the left side. And I certainly like the style in which he plays. Boy, it is fast. It is athletic, and it is fun to watch. We talked to Lane Kiffin yesterday. He said, you know, one thing about being able to move him around is that you can't really identify or take him away. A defense can't take him away if he's just lined up left all the time.
Sims to throw on the first play for Alabama here in the second half offensively, and wide open is Jones. He's inside the 30 down to the 25. That'll be a gain of 41 yards, and he was wide open.
And I tell you what, this is the same throw earlier in the ball game that Jacob Coker missed. Post route over the top that was forced. It was double covered. And it was Amari Cooper underneath the play before. Now it's Christian Jones, and Blake Sims comes right back and hits the play.
Yeldon, he's inside the 20 down to the 19. That'll be a pickup of 6 yards. By the way, if you're wondering, 10 catches for Cooper in the first half. That is 3 off the school record set by DJ Hall, who had 13 in a game against Tennessee right here in 2007. He had 12 in the game last week. Just missed the record. Something says they might try to get it out to him a few times here in the second half. Let's just see.
I think he's on pace to get it.
Sims throws to Chris Black. He's inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line.
Let me tell you something. Blake Sims, just watch the body language. You talk about playing with confidence. I mean, there's no hesitation. Pressure on the defensive edge. Let me shoot it out here to Black, who's sitting wide open in the flat. I mean, that's just confidence. And it seems as though the more he plays, the more confident he becomes.
Well, I was here spring game, and I'm like all the Alabama fans that watched that game. You left there scratching your head wondering what the quarterback position would look like come the fall. Well, something happened in the offseason because Blake Sims is playing like a man possessed, and that one was through the fingertips of Amari Cooper in the back of the end zone. It'll be incomplete. I mean, this is, I'm telling you, in the last 5 months, I don't know what's happened to Blake Sims, but this is not even close to the guy who played in the spring game.
A lot of it happens when summer workouts and timing and things of that sort. And it looked like maybe one of the Florida Atlantic defenders, one of the Owl defenders, got a hand on that football. But I'll tell you what, he looks sharp.
Second down and goal. Sims throws it outside. Cooper makes the catch. They'll mark him inside the 2. That's a gain of, let's call it 6.
How many times do you hear me tell you that catching that ball out of the gun and then just shooting it outside is a tough throw? And he makes it look easy. I mean, it's just because a lot of times as a passer, you don't get the laces. You don't have time to sit and mold the ball to find the laces. It's got to be gone right now, or the defense can react to it. He does it as well as I've seen it done, and it's accurately thrown.
Third down and goal from just inside the 2. Loose football. It's on the deck, and FAU has it. The handoff.
Just maybe a missed exchange between Sims and Yeldon, or I'm not sure if Yeldon ever had the football. Let's take a look here. It didn't look like he had a.
It didn't even look like he was thinking he was going to get the football.
It didn't look like he had a pocket to get it. He thought maybe he was a decoy or something, because he continued on after the play.
No, he did not. Yeah, that football wasn't going to Yeldon in Yeldon's eyes.
I don't know if that was supposed to have been a play action, but Yeldon certainly didn't look as though he was getting the football.
That handoff goes to Jay Warren for a couple of yards, but a lot of green grass in front of the Owls offensively.
A nice stop there by the Owls. Force a fumble, recover it, and dodge some points.
You know, I think this is part of the game when you're up 31-0. Here's third quarter on a hot day. I think sometimes this is where you start to see teams maybe lose that edge a little bit. Eddie Jackson on the coverage of William Dukes down the near sideline.
Well, and they're going to really need Eddie Jackson as they get into their schedule, and you get matched against the Texas A&Ms of the world, the final game against Auburn, where teams have some pretty good receivers. You're gonna have to play some man-to-man, and he allows you, a healthy Eddie Jackson allows you to do just that.
FAU last year, 6th in Conference USA and 3rd down conversions, 1 of 6 today, and they are backed up here. Don't want to be careless with the football if you're Greg Hankerson.
Well, all quarterbacks expect pressure.
They'll hand it off right up the middle. Oh, crushing hit back at the 15-yard line, and that'll be a first down. Jay Warren on the carry, 31 yards, right over Dalvin Tomlinson.
My goodness, I mean, this is trucked. Boom, right there. I mean, just get off me. It looked like it may have been the safety, Perry, that stepped up and took on that truck with 25 on it, which was Jay Warren.
Apologies to Dalvin. It was Nick Perry shaking out the cobwebs. Outstanding catch on the far side. First down, FAU. Jensen Stoshak right over Cyrus Jones, 16 more yards.
And that's what I'm talking about. Find some matchups for Greg Hankerson in which he can succeed. Accurately thrown, corners on top. He throws the back shoulder. Excellent throw and an even better catch by Stoshak.
Lucky Whitehead around the edge. He'll pick up a few yards.
I'll tell you what, Alex De Leon threw him a nice block. That allowed Whitehead to turn the corner. I don't think he's getting enough credit for some of the edge blocks he's throwing. A big tight end, 6'4", 240 pounds, out of Bellevue, Florida. He has done some nice work today.
Jay Warren in at running back. Nice drive by FAU inside Alabama territory. Second down, come near side. They'll go to Lucky Whitehead, trying to make a couple of guys miss inside the 40.
There he is again.
That should be good enough for a first down after a 5-yard pickup.
Yeah, 84 there again. And it doesn't have to be a knockout block, just enough in terms of body position to allow Whitehead to turn up the field and pick up the first down. That's all you're trying to accomplish on second down. And he does a nice job of putting his body between the ball carrier and the defender to allow Whitehead to make a cut off his backside.
First down and 10. Hankerson just throws it out of bounds. We'll try again on second down.
Smart play.
Well, weekdays, ESPN Radio's Paul Feinbaum shares compelling opinions on the SEC football season through a deep knowledge of the conference and interaction with passionate callers that have followed him for years. It's the Paul Feinbaum Show, weekdays at 3 o'clock Eastern Time on the SEC Network. It's also available on the Watch ESPN app.
On weekly with Paul, and he is passionate about SEC football, that's for sure.
Here's Whitehead again. To play Alabama was running a bunch in the first half, so FAU said, hey, it worked against us, so let's try to work it against them, and it seems to be effective.
And it is, and it's because of the block of 84. Freeze it right there. Watch the blocks out here to allow Whitehead to get up the field. Watch 84. It doesn't have to be a knockout block right there. Just good body position to allow Whitehead to pick up positive yards to get yourself in a third down and manageable situation.
Handoff goes to Warren. He'll be a yard shy of a line to make. Give him 4.
No doubt you go for it here. Down 31-0. You go for it here. There's no question in Charlie Partridge's mind of what they're going to do. Jay Warren is an option. Greg Hankerson, athletic quarterback, out on the edges. Something quick to Lucky Whitehead.
10th play of the drive on 4th down. Trying to set up a little middle screen to Jay Warren, and snuffed out by the Crimson Tide. Trey DePriest making the play from that middle backer position.
Didn't like the formation. And I didn't like the call.
Didn't work.
And
Alabama has it. Up 31-0.
Let's go back and take a look. Earlier in the game, we had two crossers, a deep post route and freeze it. We got Amari Cooper right there. And Coker chose to go with a guy that's double covered. And he actually overthrows him. Maybe if it's an accurate throw, he may have hit a home run with it. But it was an easy throw to Cooper. Same formation. You get Cooper this time running the deep post. You got Christian Jones underneath. Freeze it. There it is right there. As clean as you can get it. You see the safeties high on the top. It's an easy throw, and Blake Sims nails it. I mean, that's the difference right now in the two quarterbacks and the level of play in which they're executing.
So Alabama will have it first down and 10. And Jake Coker back under center after Sims took him all the way down to the field, but a miscue on a handoff and a fumble allowed FAU to take over. So from the 29-yard line out of the I formation, here's Drake off the right side to the 33, and a flag comes in at the end of the play after a 4-yard pickup.
I think on that last fumble, there may have been a miscommunication between Blake Sims and the rest of the offense. Because I don't know that he was scheduled to come out that fast, to go out for one drive and then Coker go back in.
Foul, chop block, offense, number 77, 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat the down.
Ari Kwanjo, that left guard, coming in chopping somebody when they were engaged with another blocker up high.
I think the officials have done a pretty good job of, protecting players. That's a call, and it really kind of takes that option out of it for offensive linemen, where guys are protected a little better. Certainly knee injuries will benefit and lessen themselves because of that call.
Coker stands in the pocket. Here's Cooper, makes the catch and makes the guy miss.
Wow.
Out to the 36-yard line. Robert Ralph brings him down, a gain of 20, and that is now a dozen catches, and he is one away from tying the school record.
I'll tell you what, nice job. Watch the eyes of Coker. Zone coverage. He scans the field from left to right and comes all the way back to the far right sideline to pick up Cooper. That's a nice job of reading through things. And school record's 13, as you mentioned. You may get that one right now.
I mean, Cooper has just been off the charts now. 163 yards receiving.
There it is.
He's now tied the school record. Out over the 40, that'll be a first down. And one more.
Dave, credit Lane Kiffin for feeding the shooter. When a guy has a hot hand, you get him the ball. And that's the equivalent of in basketball. If the guy's hot, hey, you get the ball to the shooter.
He's Steph Curry right now.
Yeah,
isn't he?
I've played a lot of pickup games. The guy's hitting, don't feed it in here. Give it to him and let him shoot it. And that's Amari Cooper. He is hot right now. And I tell you what, nice job by Lane Kiffin of feeding the guy that's hot.
Here's Drake to the 45. That's 3 more yards. Trayvon Coley makes the tackle along with the safety Grant Helm.
He may be one of my favorite players, and I think I mentioned this earlier, in all of college football. I just think the upside to Kenyon Drake is tremendous. The speed, the elusiveness, the explosion, and all he's got to do to really go ahead and cap off his game is pass protections. He starts protecting the quarterback a little bit better, boy, he will see the field a lot more.
Howard goes in motion and settles in behind his right tackle, Austin Shepard. He'll hand it off to Drake. He's close to midfield. He'll be a few yards shy of the first down, so it'll be third down and a couple coming up. Robinson Eugene, the defensive end, a junior out of Miami, comes in to make the tackle. You know, Andre, I was looking at some of the numbers last week, and Alabama had a little bit more of an up-tempo type offense. I wouldn't say it was hurry up.
Right.
And everybody talked about West Virginia's offense, but when the plays were all said and done,
yeah.
Alabama ran over 80 plays last week.
Well, that's putting successful plays together to sustain drives. Drives last longer, you're going to run more plays.
West Virginia only ran in that up-tempo, fast-paced offense. They got 63 plays in. Pass is caught down at the 10-yard line. Ardarius Stewart, 41 yards.
Well, an extremely talented redshirt freshman. And I tell you what, credit the courage of Coker standing in there. Two defenders just blast him, and he throws an accurate pass to Stewart. Watch. I mean, he stands right in there, Dave. Sometimes as a quarterback, you got to know you're going to get hit, and you have to be willing to stand in and take a shot. And tell you what, Coker did it then. Watch the shot. Two defenders that arrive at the same time.
Oof.
And the ball yet is still accurately thrown. And this is the other end of it to Stewart. That's outstanding quarterback play.
Raekwon Williams getting a lot of work at corner. He leaves the field. Now remember, their best corner, DeJon Smith, not playing today. He has an injury. Reggie Brown got hurt in the first quarter. He was playing in place of Smith. And now Raekwon Williams is getting a ton of work, and he has 9 tackles but is leaving the field. So the injuries are mounting in that secondary for Florida Atlantic. .400 yards through the air today. Alabama taking full advantage of that weakened secondary for the Owls. Out of the I formation, Drake is your tailback. Handoff right side. Drake cuts it back, leaps for the end zone. They're going to say he's out of bounds at the 3.
How about let's go old school here. Let's see if Drake can go over the top. Watch the edge blocks here to allow him to get to second level. Big ass Austin Shepard, and then right there working as well Jalston Fowler, the fullback.
I call it the old Walter Payton. Just
over the top right here.
Stutter steps, cuts it back, and Drake will keep it on the ground and pick up the 6 points.
He is a weapon. Cooper, Drake, Jones. You can just go down the list of Alabama playmakers, and 17 certainly fits that description.
Point after up and good from Adam Griffith. Kenyon Drake, the junior out of Powder Springs, Georgia, picks up the touchdown from 3 yards out. It's 38-0. You look at Lane Kiffin, who is the new offensive coordinator here, obviously came back in December during bowl preparations to kind of just take a look at the Alabama offense. He was invited down by Nick Saban after Doug Nussmeier left. They hired Saban, and you can tell the fraternity of coaches, they are a unique group. And when Lane Kiffin got the job, was officially hired, his first day on the job, when he walked into the football offices, somebody on the football staff had a life-size blow-up picture of the Alabama Terrence Cody blocked field goal that beat Tennessee when Lane was coaching the Volunteers. Now, he blamed Kirby Smart, but Kirby said he didn't have anything to do with it. How great is that?
That was an awesome story. Yesterday, we got a chance to visit with both guys, and one's coming and one's going. They are excited to work together.
Well, we got a second. Let's go to our studios and join Peter Burns.
Marquez North, he's only got, 4 catches today. The good news is not one, but 2 of them have gone for touchdowns. Justin Worley finds him. Perfect pass. What another good catch for him. 246 for Worley. Not too bad. Back to you guys, Tuscaloosa.
Justin Worley, a highly touted quarterback, has had an up and down career at Tennessee, but looks like he's maybe settled in.
He's turned the corner, second year in the system, and, knows what he's doing. Northeast North, though, is a good receiver. We're watching the best in Cooper, but North is not far behind.
Incomplete pass, looking for Derek Moyes. Hit him right in the chest, and a flag comes down.
Moyes has got to catch that one. Easy slant route.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 4. Half the distance to the goal. Replay the down.
Maybe why he didn't get those hands up to catch the football. He was working on a corner on that side. A little push-off action.
Well, the cloud cover has increased dramatically. The temperature just dropped. The wind is starting to blow quite a bit.
I just stay right here, though.
Yeah. let me hold on to this piece of metal. No rain in sight. Let's hope we can get this one in. On first down and 22 for the Owls. Hankerson coming near side with it. Batted away at the last moment. Outstanding play from Maurice Smith, the sophomore out of Sugar Land, Texas, defending Jensen Stoshak.
Going down in my neck of the woods, Fort Bend Dulles. That is all of 5 minutes from where I live. Paid a few property tax in that that school district. There's some school tax as well, but outstanding program.
Maurice getting some work today. Also on the field, the true freshman Tony Brown, an electrifying athlete, came in and rolled early, was here in the spring, and really grabs your attention with his athletic ability. He'll try to make a play here. They run a little slip screen in the direction of Tony Brown. Not much work in there, though, for the Owls. Well, the SEC Network's full day of gridiron action continues at 4 o'clock Eastern. 4 o'clock Eastern, Michigan takes on Florida, and Nichols against Arkansas. By the way, they want to be called Nichols, not Nicholls State, so don't blame me. I'm used to Nicholls State, but I'm going to do it. Finally, at 7:30, Sam Houston State takes on LSU, and Lamar takes on Texas A&M. Go to secnetwork.com/channel to find the channel number in your area. Also, the games are on the Watch ESPN app.
They're kind of like ULL wants to be called Louisiana.
Right.
Instead of ooh la la.
Hankerson breaks the tackle. Still on his feet, will throw back across the middle, and it's almost picked off, almost caught. The end result incomplete. Nate Terry was the one who had his hands on.
I think Geno Smith should have had him a pick. And you throw back across the middle late, bad things happen. You're going to see an Alabama defender flash, and there he is right there, Geno Smith. We're talking about that one until the next ball game. That was an easy one.
Shaw back to punt again. Cyrus Jones now back to return. Nice catch at the 46-yard line and some traffic at 36-yard punt. Alabama with the football up 38 when we come back. Here comes Jay Coker back on the field. Another possession for the junior quarterback. Also getting some work in the backfield. You see number 20 just gave him a little low 5. Tyron Jones, freshman out of Marietta, Georgia. 3 receivers to the far side. Here is Tyron. Little stutter step. Tyron inside the 35 down to the 33.
Oh, what a move.
Trayvon LeBlanc makes the tackle, but not before Jones picks up 20.
He gave it to one Owl defender and took it right away. Watch here. I mean, bang. This Damian Parms, the safety, came up and didn't get a hand on Jones.
Here's Jones again. Out of Marietta, Georgia, went to a powerful high school program, Walton High School, just north of Atlanta, where he scored 55 touchdowns over his final 2 years.
Certainly looks like he knows what he's doing. He's waiting patiently for blocks to set themselves. And he is showing some explosion once bodies are on bodies. Pick a side and hit it.
You know, you start thinking about these programs. Alabama's been around for 123 years. FAU, this is their 14th year of football.
That's amazing.
You wonder why they play Nebraska and Alabama. It's because they're trying to build this program, and to do that, you need some money. They're getting $1 million last week, $1 million this week, and haven't been embarrassed today. They have played hard on this warm, muggy afternoon here at the Capstone. But Alabama in complete control. It is 38-0. We head to the final 15. Rain starting to fall here at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa.
You had to mention it, didn't you?
I did. 15 minutes to go in this one. 38-0 Alabama. Second down and 2. Drake back on the field after the end of the quarter. They'll go over the middle, and the pass is incomplete. Ardarius Stewart for a moment looked like he had a touchdown.
Looked like it was intended for Ty Flournoy Smith, the tight end, right there in the middle. He gets a hand on it. Definitely intended for him. And then Stewart on the back end almost came up with a deflection for a touchdown. Oh, watch this. It's just outstanding concentration. Really ball not meant for him, but almost came up with a big play.
Tyron Jones back on the field now. They'll hand it off to Tyron. He's tripped up at the 26-yard line on third down. That'll be a loss of a yard, maybe 2. Cravon LeBlanc comes up to make the good play for the Owls, and now.
Boy, watch the hold out the front side. Be patient here. Freeze it. Boy, if he puts his foot in the ground before he commits to going backside, the front side was where he wanted to go, or where he needed to go. He's going right to the defenders. If he decides to go the opposite direction, he's still running.
So on fourth down, the Tide going for it out of the shotgun. Good pickup by Jones. Pass is caught by Ardarius Stewart. That'll be a first down around the 17-yard line. Give him 9 on the pickup.
Oh, watch the pass protection right there. Nice little cut down block by Jones, and well timed by Coker as well to get the ball out to Ardarius Stewart.
Flag down.
False start. Offense. Number 13. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Look how close Lane Kiffin is out on the field. You talk about some communication issues in the huddle. I mean, he's almost out to the numbers giving the play to Coker. And it is tough. And Lane changed a good portion of this offense. Terminology's different.
Play clock expires. Did they get the timeout before?
He is going to give Coker an earful.
Goes back to the communication issues they talked about. It was really on both sides of the ball. This is the latest incident. I think we know how Lane Kiffin feels about this. Timeout on the field. 38-0 Bama. You're watching SEC Network Football presented by Allstate. 38-0 Alabama in front, the number 2 ranked team in the country. Looking at a first down and 15 from their 22-yard line. The youngster Tyron Jones.
Oh, does he move the pile?
He is down to the 16-yard line. Tyron 5'9", 210, the redshirt freshman.
It's tough to get to him because he's built so low to the ground, and not a tall guy at 5'9", but certainly a little stockier at 212. It's tough to bring down.
That's Andre Kirk down there, middle linebacker.
He's the leader of their defense. They'll afford to lose him. 5 tackles, 6 tackles already in a.
Let's take a look at the latest dish, brought to you by Dish Network. Some news and information from around the Southeastern Conference. And, you know, certainly Florida would have loved to have played the opener, just didn't work out. So after the kickoff, they canceled that game. And at 4 o'clock this afternoon, the Gators will finally take the field. And I think a game that's so important for both teams. And Ole Miss Vanderbilt coming up later on today, 4:30 Eastern time on ESPN.
Yeah.
You know, Vanderbilt for all the wrong reasons in a world of hurt right now. But Ole Miss, a little sloppy at the quarterback play, but I still think that they look pretty good.
Yeah, they got it going in the second half. And, boy, was that a ball game last year to start the season?
We were watching that in the press room.
What?
The replay of last year's game. It was awesome.
What a game.
Maybe they'll have another one of those at LP Field. Boy, it is really pouring now.
A good read by Jacob Coker. Going to Flournoy Smith, the tight end, and you're taught on any kind of bootleg like that, the first thing of your color. If it outflanks the defense, give him the football. And without hesitation, the ball comes out on time. That allows the tight end to turn up the field for just a short game, but yet effective.
Boy, really can't see it on your TV picture, but it's raining pretty good here.
It's coming straight down. It's going to be here for a little while.
Coker. A little bit low with the throw to Flournoy Smith.
I think you could tell the ball may have been a little wet. Accurate on a couple of passes that way, and as you described, the rain, it is coming down big time. It really had a lot to do with that last throw by Coker.
A 28-yard field goal attempt. Griffith has already hit from 22. He is 5 out of 5 early in 2014. Let's see if he can keep it going. He does. Alabama stretches their lead out to 41. We'll come back right after this. Well, Andre, let's take a look at today's Good Hands play, brought to you by Allstate.
Yeah, the 13th reception by Amari Cooper. The school record falls right there to that man, number 9. And watch the hands right there. A lot of guys are chest catchers. He catches the football with his hands. Sometimes it's a tough thing to teach receivers or to break the habit of catching the ball once it gets to your body. They're body catchers. This guy right here, he gives himself a chance to really operate. When you can catch the ball with your hands, you catch it and you can make a move after, as opposed to waiting on the football so that you catch it with your body.
Well, this is his 9th 100-yard game, his 4th consecutive 100-yard game. Boy, his numbers are incredible. I'm going to break this down coming into this game in a moment. Lucky Whitehead on the return. He's dropped at the 22. You know, before this game, you go back the last 3, the 2 regular season games and then the bowl game, he had combined for 27 catches, 439 yards. That's against Auburn. Actually, if you count, I'm sorry, the regular season game, West Virginia, the last 3, Auburn, Oklahoma, and West Virginia, you average 9 catches per game, 143 yards. Wow. And today, another big game with 13 catches. He is locked in. There's a reason he's on the cover of the Alabama Media Guide.
He fought through some injuries a year ago, but boy, he has come out the other side of it healthy this year and as explosive as we've ever seen him at any point in his career. Talk about a guy that was a true freshman that went over 1,000 yards as a true freshman and here at Alabama.
Jackson right to the line of scrimmage and nowhere to run against that big front wall of Alabama.
Well, they keep trying to get outside, but this Bama defense is just so fast. Tony Brown there to make that play, but you're not going to get outside. They play leverage well, keeping everything from outside in where the help's coming from.
Boy, Tony Brown's a guy that if he can get a grasp of what Nick Saban wants to do defensively, he could be their next All-American back there. He and Eddie Jackson could make a formidable duo on the corners.
Great size
down the road.
6 foot 198.
Timeout taken by FAU on a 3rd down and 7. There is Tony Brown. You want to talk about a guy who's an athlete? Both his parents, by the way, were student athletes at Texas Tech. Both his sisters are, one's at LSU, one's at Rice. They're also student athletes.
Wow.
He was the 100-meter Texas high school champ in the 110 hurdles, excuse me. But he ran a 10-500 meters in high school as well.
I tell you what, the high school he attended, Beaumont-Ozen, is one of the best in the state of Texas. And I tell you what, he's played against some big-time competition in high school. I don't know if it prepares you for the SEC, but it is about as well as you can be prepared coming into a setting like this. So this doesn't, he in his heart, he feels like he belongs here. He belongs at Alabama competing on this level.
Well, for more on this Alabama defense, let's go down and talk to our friend who's getting a little damp right now, Laura Rutledge.
Yeah, Dave, a little damp down here, but I want to talk to you about Trey DePriest. Nick Saban continued to say how much they missed his leadership against West Virginia. And in the huddle, you've seen Kirby Smart talking to DePriest pretty much only. But this last huddle, Kirby Smart said, hey, Trey, I need you to step out of the huddle because I've got to see what I get from these guys when you're not there. Dave?
And right out of timeout, there is a flag, 3 flags, too many men on the field.
Yeah, they struggled.
Substitution infraction on the defense. 12 men in the formation, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
They struggled a little bit last week when Trey DePriest was out of the lineup against West Virginia. Reuben Foster stepping in, and they think, you talk about Tony Brown, but they think Reuben Foster can be something else as well. 6 foot 6'1", 244, and just a playmaker. But he's got to get a little more discipline in the way he plays in the system. Sometimes it's a little reckless, gets himself out of position. But boy, if you just line him up on the edge or tell him just, hey, go get the football, there's not one better.
Loose football. They're going to say, was Hankerson down? They're going to spot the ball at the 20-yard line, so a 10-yard loss for Sean Evans, another true freshman from Auburn.
Well, they bring him off the edge, and Hankerson had no chance whatsoever, and luckily he saw it at the last second and was able to get himself down, or that was going to be an ugly collision.
Here goes Cyrus Jones. Cyrus run out of bounds inside the 10 by the punter Dalton Schomp. Almost took it to the house.
And I'm not sure of the Alabama blocker that was out in front of Cyrus Jones who slipped down. But if he doesn't slip, Cyrus Jones is going to be in the end zone. Watch this. It sets itself right. He comes out the backside after making a guy miss. Right there is Jalston. No, it's not Jalston Fowler. 27, Nick Perry, is out in front. And if he doesn't slip, he gets a block, and Jones is in the end zone.
A dynamic return by Jones. 70 yards and almost got it to the house. Almost. But sets up Alabama 1st and goal from the 10.
Oh, what a play.
Boy, nice job on the outside as the pass was caught by Robert Foster.
Henderson makes the play for Florida Atlantic, but he's being blocked, and then he doesn't give up on it and is able to get up and still make a tackle. Boy, that's one heck of an effort.
Anthony Averett with the carry, number 28. excuse me, Alton Tenpenny getting in there. Alton is a guy that's just kind of the odd man out in this rotation, especially now that Tyron Jones has kind of moved up the notch. You got Yeldon, Henry, Drake, Jones, and Tenpenny now.
How many
is our 5th running back?
How many programs can you say could go 5 deep at running back, and all 5 could go elsewhere and start? Yeah, all 5 of them, even Tenpenny.
And more whistles. What do we have? A timeout? I believe so. Maybe FAU got the timeout.
Timeout. Florida Atlantic.
That'll leave FAU with 1 timeout. 8:18 to go. 41-0. Alabama's trying to stretch this out a little bit more as the ball sits down at the 4-yard line, 3rd and goal. Now tune in Sunday as the SEC Network brings you a rewind of a classic SEC game. This time it's Georgia and South Carolina from 0-2. David Pollock and Georgia's defense rise to the occasion and help the Bulldogs to a win in their SEC opener against the Gamecocks. SEC Rewind, Georgia, South Carolina 2002, Sunday at 10 Eastern on the SEC Network, also available on the Watch ESPN app. Well, that was a good Georgia Bulldog team. Pollock on the defensive side, and of course David Green, the just steady a quarterback as you would ever want to have run your program.
He was a good one, the lefty.
So Tenpenny comes in to handle that tailback spot. Coker under center. Michael Nicewander is the fullback in front of Tenpenny. Straight power play off the right side. Nowhere to run for Tenpenny. He's stuffed. Might have lost a yard.
I'll tell you what, Jacob Coker's doing the smart thing. He's coming all the way to the sideline to get the play from Lane Kiffin. Take it back to the huddle.
You know, the other interesting aspect of this is in prior years, the offensive coordinator for
8 miles of the stadium. Both teams will be sent to the locker room. The game is being suspended because of lightning within 8 miles of the stadium. Players suspended.
Well, that is not what we needed. So we have at least 30 minutes. So lightning within 8 miles of the stadium. The rain has pretty much subsided. It's a little bit of a drizzle.
Yeah.
But Alabama and FAU will head to their respective locker rooms. It'll be 4th down and goal from the 4 when we resume. Most of the folks have left the stadium already once the storm came our way about 20-25 minutes ago. So we have 7:53 on the clock. It's a 41-0 Alabama lead. The game is suspended, which will give us an opportunity to send it to our studios. Here's Peter Burns.
All right, guys, we got a final in Tuscaloosa. Alabama and Florida Atlantic's coaches and SIDs have decided and they got together. The game has been terminated 41-0. So it is a final. Let's get back to you guys out in Knoxville.
All right, Peter, thank you very much.